We are back. Welcome back to another episode on the ONJ YouTube channel. I'm your co-host, Jeremiah.
I'm in Coast Orlando.
Hope everyone's having a good day, good night. Most importantly, like, comment, subscribe. Very hectic playoffs up until this point. We're about to get into a lot of good basketball. Well, some of it's good, but yeah, what we got first?
Before anything, right? I just noticed something that I think I have to point out. So this background that we're using, I'm pretty sure we made this background and we only used it for this season, right? It's like
Correct,
when the season started, that's when we started using it.
correct.
Um, so we did not plan out any of this, but just it just happens that right above me, the two colors on here are the two colors of the New York Knicks, who are going to the NBA Finals. What are the odds? Hey, we know
Yes.
it since the beginning. We know it since the beginning. We like that. In convincing fashion, the New York Knicks have swept the Cavaliers. They have not lost a game in what was that 4-4? What was it? Was it tied with the Hawks too?
Yeah, I think so.
A 10 game winning streak or 11, something like that. Anyway, them boys has
I
not
got
lost
you.
a game.
I got you. I got you. Keep going, though. Keep going, though. I got you. I
They
got
have
you.
not, or maybe it's 13. I don't know. They just haven't lost a game.
They've
That's how
been winning.
impressive this is.
They've
They've been
been
winning.
winning.
The city of New York is gonna go crazy. I mean, they are already going crazy, but I saw
Facts.
that I don't know if you I saw a little pop-up that said like the get-in price at Madison Square Garden for their
10
games,
games.
10 games, 10 games. The get-in price was like, now this might be fake. I literally just saw it before we got on. It was like
Hmm.
$3,000 or something like that. Um,
For finals?
for finals at Madison Square Garden.
They finna, they finna get back. And that's nosebleeds.
I think so, yeah.
So that means courtside got to be like 10 racks.
Hey, courtside is only going to the celebrities, bro. We've seen it where at courtside at any game, there's been celebrities for the Knicks. Their whole like courtside, I think behind courtside too is just straight celebrities. Even in the Cavs, they flew all the way to Cleveland just to be there to see the Knicks sweep. That's how passionate these celebrities are about the Knicks.
Nah, that's facts. Nah, I mean, yeah, I seen Spike Lee was up there, Fat Joe. Um, I don't know, the actor guy. Um,
Timothy Chalamet.
yeah, Timothy Chalamet. I think he had what, Kylie Jenner with him. Yeah, no, it was they traveled for sure. It's if the Knicks win the finals, man. I
Bro,
mean, you saw the clip of like the NYPD getting ready for game four when they're away.
yeah.
They are away. If they win at home, like
Yeah.
if they get a closeout finals game at home,
They are
oh man,
that city's going up in flames.
you're gonna hear about it for like 10 years, 20 years, probably. It's
Yeah.
gonna kind of be like that Raptors championship. It's like it. I don't know if that's a good way to put it, but
I
like the
don't think the
rat, like the,
Raptors were like crazy, like damaging the city as we expect Knicks fans to be. Were
but
they?
it's like, but it stands out though. Like that championship, like kind of stands out, like as a
That's
like
true.
like I don't know if it's a wasn't expected to win, but like just like it's the Raptors won. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but like the Knicks, yeah, the Knicks have been. I mean, the Knicks fans have been waiting. They've been waiting for a while, and I mean, let's
1999, I think was the last time they were in the finals.
yeah. So it's like I mean, let's get into some basketball, though. I mean, because I mean, you're close last year, right? What it was Eastern Conference Finals last year, I believe. And then, then you figure out, maybe it's the coach, right? So then, Coach Thibodeau's let go, and then you hire Mike Brown, who just had a great season in Sacramento, was rebuilding that organization. And then, he gets let go. And then now they're here, in the NBA Finals. It's great. It's a great job for the organization, making those moves. You bring together the Villanova team. They're still together. OG Anunoby, he's still there. Um, but yeah, I mean, just what are your thoughts on just the series? But then also like I think before we get into the series, just overall, like just the overall just team and the moves that they made to kind of get here.
Before I answer that question,
Hmm.
the report that since you were talking about coach, did you see the report that coach basically showed them a video of them losing last season in the Eastern Conference Finals and told them how did it feel? Like, building that adrenaline inside of them and that want and that desire to go to the finals and not be in that same spot.
Was this before Game 4?
I think this was before the series.
Oh, that's tough.
If I
Oh,
recall
that's next level.
from the report. Um,
So
but
no college highlights, huh?
there were some highlights, or I guess
There's
low
some
light. I guess they're
low
low
lights.
light.
That's
So
actually that's actually pretty good.
yeah,
I mean, I wonder what do you show them? Like, I guess you just show some. You show like the Eastern Conference Finals. You
them
show
them hugging
okay,
everybody as I don't know somebody raising up the trophy of the
yeah.
finals, stuff
I
like
mean,
that. I guess.
I'm sure they remember how that felt. Like
Yeah,
I know they remember how that felt. So that's
yeah.
actually
I mean,
great
it's
coaching.
basically the same exact team from last year.
Right.
Uh, so
No, that's great coaching. I mean, for him to do that, no, that's great. For the Cavs, though, I mean, like to get swept, like you know what I mean, like that's pretty. That's it's like you making it to the almost the end, almost the finals, and then to get swept. I mean, that's got to be
I
pretty
mean,
rough.
before we get into the Cavs, I don't think I ever answered your question about how I feel about the Knicks making it in all the moves.
Yeah,
I think I got sidetracked, so I want to go back and actually answer your question. You gotta give a big shout out to the front office, and what they're able to construct there. Um, just because when you really look at the starting lineup, I think when the front office took over, I don't think any of these players were there with the Knicks. I think that the Knicks are a true definition of building it from the ground up, and not necessarily building it. I think there's multiple definitions of building stuff from the ground up. Like some teams build it from the ground up in terms of like through the drafts, and I think the Knicks built it from the ground up, starting with that Brunson signing and then making the risky trades that everybody kind of criticized. The trade with 15 first round picks for Mikal Bridges, the pick of wanting to trade, RJ and quickly for young players for OG Anunoby,
yeah,
um, the trade for Cat. I think those were all kind of trades that people were kind of criticizing the front office, and even the firing of Thibodeau. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. Um, Along with the hiring of Mike Brown, I think some people were also on the edge, and it's just a big shout out to that front office to be willing to take those risks.
right,
Um, and those risks that they took position them where they are right now that they're able to make it to the finals. And a good comparison with that also is you were mentioning the Raptors, how the Raptors was significant. The Raptors is another team who kind of did that risky move by trading for Kawhi, which led them to get to the finals and to get that championship. And I kind of see the Knicks also kind of taking a lot of those risks now to be able to make it to those finals. So, shout out to that front office because they're doing an amazing, amazing job.
no, for sure. Definitely shout out to the front office. I mean, some great pickups. I think OG Anunoby is definitely like one of those guys every championship team has to have like just one of those tough, like just strong, gritty, like type of dudes, just that could defend, kind of like I don't know, like I don't know if he's as I don't know if he's as scrappy as Lou Dort, but like, like he's tough though. Like, what I mean, like he's a tough big wing that can defend and things like that. So pieces like that, pieces like Mikal Bridges, all those players you just mentioned. I mean, Josh Hart as well, right? Like even though his shot can be on and off certain games, but just everything else that he's kind of good at in terms of basketball, whether it's like, just facilitating ball movement or, just even attacking the rim, crashing the boards, offensive rebounding. I mean, I think that's definitely something too this Knicks team has, and it's great to see because like it's one thing to have skill, right? But it's like it's another thing to be able to apply some toughness with that skill, right? Like, and I think that's coaching, right? Like, like you gotta have the most skilled guys, but I think as a coach, well, not coach, I mean, it's not just him, but just Mike Brown and his whole staff, the whole coaching staff, just like instilling a culture of grit, we're gonna compete, like even in the pregame, like I loved his pregame speech, game four, right? He's like, yo, like that team over there in the other locker room, like they're gonna have a level of desperation that I can't even make up. Like, you know what I mean? Like y'all just gotta be like mentally prepared for whatever punches they're about to throw. Which I mean, I mean, did they throw any punches? I mean, God, it was bad. It was bad. But to stay on the point though, but to stay on the point though, like for him to kind of like that kind of grit, like just how he kind of brings that team together and kind of instills confidence in them, but like a toughness in them as well. I think it's definitely shown it's working, and I mean we'll see if they can do it for another 4 games. But no, I mean that team is definitely well put together for sure.
And I really want to know what coach or I don't even know if it was coach or what just happened with this team after being 2-2 with the Hawks that they just decided like they were gonna click. Like something just clicked where everything was in perfect, they were like the perfect team. Like the chemistry was on point, the run, the hustle, the intensity, the effort, everything was just clicking perfectly for them that they were able to not lose a game from that point on. I I just wonder what it was. I wonder if maybe in a few years we'll have documentary,
Yeah, no, it's
like
got
the
to be.
last dance that'll tell us what happened.
I mean, I'm thinking like maybe it had to have been like some sort of player meeting or something. Like somebody had to say something. Maybe it was Brunson, like or maybe it was somebody unexpected. Maybe it was Cat. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like, like who knows? I'm sure like I bet maybe like one of the players like maybe instill something, within that team to kind of get them going and pretty much not lose the game. Just another side question, but even though we haven't talked about the game yet, but it's been like 10 minutes. Does Thibodeau just to throw it out? Does Thibodeau have anything to do with this? Because you know what I mean. Like you said, this team has been together, for a few years now. So they've kind of been under like Thibodeau and his coaching staff's tutelage. I don't know if Brunson was the only remaining person on the staff. I'm not sure if Mike Brown kept any other coaches from Tom Thibodeau's staff, but um like, does Thibodeau have any? Because I was thinking like with Jamal Mosley, right? Like, just to kind of harp on that, like, he kind of the Magic were bad when he got him, right? Like they were a bad team, but well, not kind of. I mean, he turned them into a playoff contender. Him and his staff turned them into a playoff contender. So it's like, does Thibodeau have any like sort of because I mean they did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So it's like, does Thibodeau have anything to kind of do in that sense? Because like is it like just a good team acquired or like not to say I don't want to discredit Mike Brown's coaching, but just to throw it out there.
I mean, I still do think that there's a credit to Thibodeau.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it's in terms of Thibodeau's like that defensive coach. So I feel like deep down the team will still have that def uh defense that they learned under Thibodeau. And then
Offensively, though,
offensively, that's where
they're
Mike
looking a
Brown
lot.
comes in
They're looking
and
a
puts
lot
in
better.
his. Yeah, yeah, that's the biggest thing. So I think, some of Thibodeau's defense is still, lingering in the team. Um,
Yeah,
and you also brought a good point that I do wonder who else from Thibodeau's coaching staff, besides
yeah,
Brunson, is still on there.
yeah. I
Because
don't
that
know.
could be, because that could be good if they still have somebody like more people laying from his staff, because they could continue that progression that they had on the defensive end from Thibodeau's,
Hmm.
coaching style, while incorporating Mike Brown's and his offensive style.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Rick Brunson. I don't know. I don't think Johnny. I don't think Johnny Bryant. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw Mo Cheeks. Pause like on the staff. Yeah, I think okay, so Brendan O'Connor, he's still there. He was there with Thibodeau, I believe, right? No, no, he wasn't. I'm sorry. Take that back. Okay, Darren Eman, he was there with Thibodeau, so he's still there. Rick Brunson, of course. That's it. I think Darren Ehrman. I think he's the only one. Yeah, so everybody else is pretty much uh oh yeah, and Mo Cheeks. And Mo Cheeks is still there as well. So Mo Cheeks, Darren Ehrman, and Rick Brunson. Those are the only ones remaining, I believe, from what I see. Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, I mean, either way, it could be coaches. It could also be the players. You could switch to another coach, but you still have those tendencies from how you played previously.
Right.
Um, and it could also just be a thing of maybe Mike Brown could let them be free on the defensive end, continue what they were doing and only really focus on the offensive end, because that's kind of his coaching style where he's most successful as on the offensive end of the game. So
Not for sure. Yeah, I mean, if he's trying, I mean, not. I mean, we're gonna keep. I mean, we keep it the Knicks, but like, if you're the Kings, what are you doing? Like, come on, he had you. He had you. You weren't a good team. He had you top two in the West, or top two or three in the West. Whatever they were. They were a playoff team in the West. Like, why get rid of him? I mean, what? He got fired for doing his job. Like, it's another. What's his name? Um, Adrian Griffin. Yeah, Adrian Griffin. Like another Adrian Griffin situation. Like Adrian Griffin gets fired. Number one. I mean, I think that actually happened to David Blatt too. I believe. Yeah, I remember when David Blatt. He was on. He got fired too when they were going to
listen,
see like
listen, let's be honest here. When have the Kings ever made any logical sense in any of the moves that they've ever made? So remember, this is the same team that had De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton.
and Davion
Decided they
Mitchell.
decided they wanted to trade away Tyrese Halliburton. He goes on to the finals. Then they decide, you know what? We're trading also De'Aaron Fox. You know what? You
Essentially.
know what? You know what we want to do? We want to bring in basically the Bulls' former team, because we think we could be successful with that team. We saw the Bulls couldn't do it, but we're
Oh
gonna do it.
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
we weren't successful. Has to be the coach. Let's fire him and bring a new coach, and maybe we'll be successful. To
I,
remember,
I,
if we even go even back, this is the team that had the chance to draft Luca.
you could just stop right there. That's it.
That's all
That
I'm
says it
saying.
all. That says it all. All right. Um, let's talk some basketball. Um, Knicks Cavs. Cavs get swept. I mean, we pretty much touched on the Knicks a lot, but just what didn't the Cavs have? I mean, just what did you see, throughout the four games that the Knicks were able to kind of expose and just, pretty much beat them down?
Um, a lack of defense on the guard side. Is very big. I think we
I think
talked about game 1 when they made that comeback. Coach literally was flat out said we're attacking Harden. I don't think any adjustments were made. Um, in fact, I think the Cavs went out on the press conferences and were saying Harden has been playing very well defensively. Um, so I guess they got to cope with it some way or another.
It's
Um,
the and that's the thing. I mean, because they did attack him, you know, they did. Knicks did utilize some good ball screens, but it just seemed like they're not there, and like and you could see it the difference between the Knicks and the Cavs, right? Because I mean I guess yes, Harden can look questionable. He definitely looks questionable off ball. Like there'll just be certain moments where like it's just like it's like he like wins offense. Like, like just let me know when we're back on offense. Like that's what it kind of looks like. But I mean when he's on ball, like he's a solid on ball defender. I think where they like was hurting him was just and I mean it happened with Jared Allen, it happened with Mobley. It's just the backside, the help defense. And I mean, it just seemed like there was really no prep like with that. You know what I mean? Like with in terms of just any counters, any sort of just defensive adjustments that we could make to kind of make Brunson uncomfortable, like to kind of just disrupt their flow, like just anything. And also, I mean, you kind of see a difference with the Knicks. Like the Knicks, they're a great defensive team, not only because I mean, of course, you have guys that can defend on the ball, but what truly makes like a great defensive team is kind of when plays are broken, right? Like when coverages are broken and like somebody's open, but then somebody who's nearest that, like say if like Merrill and I don't know Merrill and Struess like on the left side, and Struess is on the wing, and then Merrill's in the corner, like so, and then maybe Miles McBride is like guarding Merrill in the corner, and then Struess, and then maybe who's guarding Struess? I don't know, maybe and then maybe Mikal Bridges is guarding Struess or something. He sees Harden maybe about to drive or shoot or something. He tries to contest Harden, leaving Strus open. Like automatically, like Miles Bridges kind of goes to cover for Strus, and then somebody goes to cover for Miles. I mean, not Miles McBride goes to cover for Miles Bridges, and then somebody goes to cover for Miles McBride in the corner. Like the rotations, like their defensive rotations, I think were very, very good, and you could just tell they're just like a one there's a one just one thing, like just one squad out there. It's kind of like I don't know if you ever seen the it's like I don't know, it's fairly new, but the defense on a string, like like they have five players like kind of on a string attached to a string and basically have to defend as one unit, like, but they all can't like, kind of tangle the string, or it basically teaches like rotations and just teaches like, what I mean, helping each other, like kind of just teaches proper defense, from a team, like from a 5v5 perspective, which is pretty cool. So like I think the Knicks definitely they did a good job of just, helping each other out. Like somebody leaves their man open, they're gonna rotate, and somebody's gonna help the other person. Like I think with the Cavs, it was just a lot of just broken defensive coverages. I think it was just they're just not a fundamentally sound defensive team. They're definitely they can score points, right? But when you're not scoring points, you gotta depend on your defense. And I mean the Knicks can do both, and they did both. You know.
I also feel like with the Cavs, their lack of defense to me sometimes feels like their lack of defense leads is caused by a lack of necessarily focus on defense. But I think there's a less focus on defense because personally, I feel like sometimes it feels like they don't focus too much of it because they'd be like, oh, if somebody gets past me, there's Mobley, there's Jared Allen.
And that wasn't even like a threat. They were still attacking.
Yeah. But I just feel like throughout the season, they focus so much on, Jared Allen is a former defensive player of the year. You he could get it. Like I said, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley,
I think
whatever.
it's Evan Mobley. Yeah, Evan Mobley.
Evan Mobley is what I meant. Um, and I think they relied a little too much into that and never really focused on, like you said, the change, the help coverage, moving around. I think that was never emphasized when you looked at them. It was more like, if they get past me, we got two dominant bigs in the paint that'll do something.
Right. I mean, you had 4 games to adjust too, and that's the tough part. Like you had a lot of games to adjust. I mean, you definitely should have known, you had a problem game one. I mean, you're up 20, you're about to close out, get a nice closeout game, and and the Knicks come back, right? And they take that game. Like that right there is just that's right there. Like something has to happen in film that next day. Like something new has to happen because I mean, like you've got to rip into your team. Like I mean, like you've got to just do something, anything to just get them going. You know what I mean? Because yeah, that's a scary feeling to give up a 20+ point lead, to your home team, and then to kind of have your best player or one of your best players, whoever you want to argue with, like one of your best players, Don Mitchell to be like, the 3-0 lead. I don't know if that was, I didn't see the actual clip, so I don't know if you could confirm if it was true or if it was, because sometimes they be clickbaiting with the titles, but like when he was like, he said, like the 3-0 lead, like he was still kind of talking about the 3-0 lead, like when you give up three, like the 3-0 lead kind of made them lose momentum or something like that. So it's like you could tell, like saying something like that, seeing somebody say something like that, just makes you think that if the kind of I don't know if he's the leader of the locker room, but the best player in the locker room is saying that there's no way that the rest of the team isn't really feeling that. You know what I mean? Like if the best guy is saying something like that, then like some other people in the locker room got to be feeling, something similar. That's still got to be in the back of their head because it's
I
tough,
think
man.
he said, I think he said, uh, what shifted the momentum of the playoffs was them leading by as much as 22 and still losing game one.
And that's game one. Like you gotta let, like I mean, you can't tell somebody how to feel, but like just like as a suggestion, like you gotta like that gotta be left next game up. Like it gotta be a next game. Like it's 0-0. I mean, like like we trying to go 1-0. Like that's every game. Like it's 0-0. We trying to go 1-0. Like that's gotta be the mentality. Like every game. I mean, because like yeah, like and that was before game four, I think, right? Or yeah, that was before game four, I believe, or after
Right.
game three.
Did it before game three, maybe after something
Yeah,
like that.
before game three. Ooh. Yeah, so like that was 3 games ago. That was like 2 or 3 games ago, and that's still a topic of conversation. Like that's gotta be done with, and like we gotta focus on like what adjustments we gotta make to, make this a series.
I was after the game three loss.
Yeah. So after game three, so like that's 2 games ago, and that's still a topic. So I mean, it's definitely a tough way to lose, especially at this point of the playoffs. But I mean, yeah, it was tough. I mean, adjustments, just the lack of adjustments, and I mean, just the Knicks, and then also just defensive discipline. I mean, like, and defensive discipline could also mean like something that was shown a lot, but then it was also talked about like just transition defense, right? Like shot going up, but nobody's getting back. Like that's. I mean, the Knicks knew that. Like they were trying to leak out every time, like every single time,
Every
every
time.
single time, and it worked every single time. And it's like, and I don't even know if that's something like that's just like you gotta want it. Like as a team, like everybody on that roster has probably played like maybe thousands of games combined. You know what I mean? Like, or close, or they near close to 1,000 games combined. Like transition defense, like that's something that like I mean the whole team like that's something that like should be preached. Like like yo, we got to get back. Like and I don't know who the leader of the locker room is to kind of say that. Like. I don't know if Dennis Schroeder is. I mean, Dennis Schroeder has the capability, but he's fairly new. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he has the like kind of pull that maybe a Donovan Mitchell would have. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell was like consistently vocal. Like I don't know, but yeah, that was a tough series though, man.
Yeah, so it seems like a lot of times I was thinking of game four when they Knicks went up by like 20. And I feel
Mhm.
like once the Knicks went up by 20, it kind of felt like a lot of the Cavs' momentum and want kind of disappeared. Um,
Mm,
like it didn't feel like, the Cavs wanted it. It kind of felt like they're down by 20. It kind of felt like they were already defeated. Um,
mm.
and they were just kind of going with the motion of the game, in a sense.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it. And then another thing, I'm trying to find a quote. But I think Kenny Atkinson had said, I think after game three, um, wait, this
That
might
was
be it.
funny. Yo, that was funny. I
Analytically,
gotta
we
hear the
won
con.
2 out of 3. That's the quote I'm
It
looking
was
for.
con. Somebody said it was a context though. I don't remember what the context was, but just the sound bite alone is. I don't know. That's the thing about clips though, like social media. Like they could just choose the right sound bite, and then it could just make you look like it could make you look wild, even though there probably is a valid reason for him saying that. But that it was funny though. It's funny reading it.
I guess there's a valid reason, but to
And
go out there and be,
it,
analytically, we won 2 out of the 3. We lost, but analytically, we won 2 of the 3. Um,
what
which
more can
goes
you
back to
say?
your locker room leader, where I don't feel like they have a leader who will who will like grill into them. Don't be comfortable. It's time to get uncomfortable. Like, it's time to put in your
Draymond
all to
Green.
try to win.
Like a Draymond Green, like a even Brunson though. Like Brunson, like he leads the group. He's kind of a leader of the pack. Like you see him on the court, just communicating, like lock in, like you know what I mean. Like he leads by example. Like you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
I see I see your point. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, and
But
I don't even know who that would be. Like I don't even see like Struce seems like he could be that guy, but just I don't think like he's not like a 20 point per game scorer, like, and he's not really like that kind of established to where like somebody would like kind of listen to every single word he says. Even though I would like he seems like a great competitor, so like I mean I would, but like if you're like maybe a Donovan Mitchell or James Harden, like are you listening to Max Struess? Like you know what I mean? Like no offense to like Max Struess, but like
that's the thing. When you have a Donovan Mitchell and a James Harden, you kind of have to make sure that you have obviously those are the two guys on your team. So it's very rare that they're gonna listen to anybody else. So at that point, you gotta have the coach kind of drill into them and bring more accountability into them. And right now, it doesn't feel like that. It kind of feels like the coach is friendly with them as buddy buddy. I don't think it's more like drilling into them. Um, and what I could think of is using JJ as an example, where I think after one of the Lakers lost, he was like, "This team's playing terribly defense. There's gonna be some very uncomfortable conversations that I'm gonna have to have with this team." And that's a coach right there that's gonna ground to them. He's somebody who's coaching a LeBron James and a Luca, and he's saying we're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations because I don't like the way they're playing. Mind you, I think they were still having a winning record when he said that. So that's
right.
kind of like the mentality that you have to have as a coach, that you're gonna draw into your stars to get the best out of them. And I don't think it's
Yeah.
happening with the Cavs necessarily.
Yeah. No, we'll see what changes that probably will be made. I mean, you gotta make changes. Like even I mean, and that's I mean maybe that's another question too. Like because you did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I guess you have to make changes, right? Because I mean, even though you did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, you got swept. So I mean, like you've got to make some type of changes, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
have to make
So
bring in I don't know, bring up defensive coaching. Um, I don't know, bring another defensive body and just
they need an
something.
anchor too. I think they definitely need like a solid big, in that paint to just kind of like an enforcer. They need some type of enforcer like on that team because there really isn't like nobody. You know what I mean? That's kind of or just
And
like I don't
80,
know, just
82 games plus playoffs enforcer, because sometimes Evan Mobley or Jared Allen can be an enforcer, but I don't think it's a
right
consistent enforcer, especially with this league.
every night. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. It's a lot of a lot of questions to be answered. I mean, I saw that. I guess they're bringing back Atkinson, so he
yep.
is coaching back. Um, and then James Harden. I don't know if that it was from NBA Central. So I don't know. I mean, NBA Central, they're pretty legible. So I mean, in terms of not Centel though, yeah, you gotta be careful with Centel. Yeah. Centel will get you. Centel, Centel.
There are a few people, man.
Like what? Like shoot, Bryce James has declared for the 2026 NBA draft. Like he'll just put some wild stuff. But yeah. And then I guess NBA Central had reported that James Harden should sign the max. I guess whether he wins or lose, or I think no, Cavs should sign Harden to the one or the other, one way or the other. Like James Harden should be there long term, whether he wins or lose.
Also,
With the max deal.
that's also kind of crazy because I think the Cavs have the highest payroll in the NBA right now.
Yeah, somebody's probably gonna be.
Yeah, moves have to be made one way or another.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I think yeah, you definitely. I mean, you, yeah, I don't. I think you are far off if you're the Cavs, just because I think other teams are probably going to get better next year, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, we'll see if Embiid gets healthier. Like, if Embiid gets healthier, I mean, like Sixers, they could be back. They could be in the East. They could easily be in the East Conference Finals next year. If Tatum, has a full healthy offseason and just kind of just gives his Achilles or gives his legs, time to heal. Well, just gives his body time to heal. The Celtics could easily be back. You know what I mean? And of course, those 3-point adjustments, like all the 3-pointers that the Celtics take. But if like they make those adjustments, like Celtics could be back as well. Where they normally are in the top of the East. So it's some moves, it's some teams. Even Detroit as well. So like if the Cavs like you did a good job of making it to the East Conference Finals, but like the gap isn't that big. You know what I mean? Like you gotta like there's still a lot of moves that has to get made. Just to kind of keep competing, just to kind of have a chance at repeating this great run. You know?
Yeah, some
Yeah,
uncomfortable decisions will have to be made.
for sure, for sure. And I mean, I like their bench though. They're like their bench isn't like Merrill and Strus are like those are great players to have. Like, like those are just guys you need, like, just floor spacers, shooting, Strus with the defense, like, kind of has a little attitude, like a little toughness to him. You know what I mean? Like, so I think Strus, those type of guys you gotta keep, just as bench pieces. But you definitely need just like you said, like a 82 game plus playoffs enforcer, like just somebody to to just kind of control that pain.
I think I saw rumors of Giannis.
I
I
thought you
mean,
should say Jalen Duren.
Dylan Durant's crazy. Uh, Giannis. But then
Giannis
again,
to the Cavs.
yeah. But then again, I don't think we should. I don't know if there's much behind it because I feel like they're saying Giannis to this team, Giannis to that team. I don't know how much credibility any Giannis rumors really has at this point because it's been like a year of rumors.
The last report I saw, and I believe this was also NBA Central, the Heat were the front runner.
Yeah,
So I don't.
he's been front runners for superstars for the past 10 years.
So I mean, and actually, it's probably a side clip. We gotta get into the OKC game, but like, like it actually makes sense. Somebody explained their culture, and just to kind of sum it up a little bit, like it makes sense, like why the Heat have kind of always been like playoff teams, because just the amount of work that they put in. You know what I mean? It's like somebody I forgot what player it was, but it's like I think the player I said like they kind of bring something out of you that you didn't really know you had in yourself. Like you know what I mean? Like whether it's a work ethic or just a basketball skill level, or just maximizing like all the tools you have in your body to kind of just work you hard to where you just reach your maximum potential as a basketball. Well, not maximum potential, but you're kind of like playing at a high level, like you know what I mean, that you wouldn't normally play at. just because of this work regimen that the culture has kind of instilled in the players. So it's like I think that's kind of why it makes sense, like why so like players like Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, like what I mean, like those it makes sense why they're able to find like kind of diamond in the rough, not diamond in the rough, but like just certain overlooked players and kind of develop them just because I mean the culture is serious, like
Yeah. All right, back now on to the Spurs and OKC. Um,
ah
so since we were mentioning, holding players accountable, did you see that apparently a Pop went and grilled into the Spurs after their game 3 lost, which kind of led to their game 4 win. Um, how do you feel
yeah.
about that? You saw that report?
I did see the report. It's great coaching. Um, whether
Man,
he's
he's
on the
not even the
side,
coach anymore.
hey, hey, nah, you got a legacy like him. You gotta. That's Coach Pop, man. That the type of legacy he has with that team. I mean, he's gonna coach. Like you don't coach as long as he does, and just be able to just sit in the front office role, sit in the box with Tim Duncan, and just hey Tim, like let's just watch basketball. Like oh wow, that was a good pass. Like no, like he's coming up with game plans, bro. Like he's like yo, like he needs to play better. Like he needs to do this, he needs to do that. Like he's gonna coach. Like I don't think like he's definitely there to. He's not there to coach, but he's going to coach. Like it's no weird they're just gonna let legend like Pop just hey we got it from here. Like no, like what's your input? Like what input do you have? You know what I mean? Like you've done this, you've won championships. Like you know what it takes. Like so I mean he's definitely there. Now of course like with his health situation they're not gonna like I doubt that they're gonna like push him like what I mean like they're not gonna have him leading film sessions. Like what I mean like he's not gonna like he's not gonna lead no film sessions, with his condition. But I mean, I'm sure they're open to whatever feedback he has. I know they're open to it. Like there's no way. But I think it's definitely a great resource to have for sure. Especially for Mitch Johnson and even just the whole team, right? And I mean, also what makes it work, what helps as well is, and this is kind of one of those rare situations. But I mean, I guess it's different because I guess he didn't really get fired. I guess he kind of had to medically retire, I guess you could say. Because this is probably like one of the only moments where you're gonna have somebody who's kind of coached the group that you're coaching still inside the building. Like, you know what I mean? Because, of course, a coach gets let go or something like that. They're not usually going back to that same team. Like, you know what I mean? Like if like Mike Brown's not gonna go back to the Kings, you know what I mean? Even like, if he like you know what I mean, just because like if he ended up like like if he had to go back. You know what I mean? So I think that's a good situation as well. And plus you have a legend that kind of coached these young guys who can coach you up as well. I mean, as much as he can, of course, with his situation, but to just have that in the building, and then for him to like still feel free to kind of talk to players, whenever he pleases. So that's a great resource to have too, for sure. It's definitely gonna make the series harder than it already is.
And how do you feel about that series being harder than it already is?
I mean, I knew this was going to be a chess match. This is definitely this is the ultimate chess match. Like, you know what I mean? Just cause, I mean, of course, I mean, it's been said multiple times. I mean, the Spurs have given the Thunder the most trouble. I mean, what? I
It's
think the Thunder only
your
won
first
what
real
one,
challenge.
right? The Thunder only won like one game against them, I believe. So like, yeah, the Thunder only won like one game against them. So I mean, they've definitely been a tough team for OKC to compete with. But it's just one of those series where both teams know what each other's good at, and it's just about who does what they're good at the most, right? And the Thunder, I mean, it's just got to be. Of course, this is easier said than done. I mean, you just got to limit Wemby. Like these 40-point games that Wemby's having, like the Spurs really win when Wemby like dominates, like dominates. So I think it's just going to be about Thunder just having. I mean, so right now, what it's 2-2. So You got two more games. You just got to have two more games. You're not going to shut down Wemby. I mean, especially, I mean, it seems like he's getting better, better. Like so. I mean, you're not going to shut him down, but if you could just kind of, because I don't even know, I don't even feel comfortable with the game plan of just letting Wemby go off and then you try to stop Castle, you try to stop Fox, you try to stop Vasil. Like I'm not even comfortable. Like Wemby is that type of player. Like I don't even want him to get going. Like you know what I mean. So I think he's that important to that team, to where you gotta just figure out ways to just make him uncomfortable. And see what that could do. Because I mean, when he has those dominant games, like when he has that 40-point game, and then what last game he had like 33 or something, like 33 and yeah, what was it? Yeah, 33 and 33 points and 10. Yeah, 33 and 10. Like I mean, he's unstoppable. Man. Ooh, let me get my shot.
I have a question for you when you come back. Regarding OKC. Um, I have no idea what you said. I'm just gonna continue talking though. Um,
I
so
said you
yeah, I
good.
think the biggest thing for OKC is kind of trying to figure out how to stop Wemby. The biggest thing for the Spurs was figuring out how to stop Shea, and I think they've done a good job as best as they can with that. Like I think I said this in the previous episode that they're gonna let whatever other person it is beat them. That's not Shea. Um, I think the first game it was Caruso that they lost. The second game that they lost, it was McCain. I think was the highest score or something like that.
Yeah,
So they're really going into that mentality of anybody except Shea is going to beat us. Um,
yeah.
so they found the answer for Shea. Now it's about OKC finding the answer to Wemby. With that comes my question: finding the answer to Wemby.
There is no answer.
Shouldn't the answer to Wemby be Chet? That's my question.
It should, shouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So I just want to get your opinions on that situation where I felt OKC probably should have been positioned to go well against Wemby having Chet, but it doesn't seem like Chet has necessarily grown to what he should be, or what we expected him to be. So what are your thoughts on necessarily Chet and his progression and all of that stuff?
All right. Even Shay didn't have an answer. You think I have an answer, bro? Like, what kind of question is that? There's clearly levels. I mean, Wemby's a top five player. Chet isn't a top five player. Um, I mean, that's it. No,
I feel like you're at a loss for words.
shouldn't you said should Chet be able to stop Wemby? I guess physically,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, or be positioned or grow in a way to be it. Because honestly, think about this. I mean, One B's been in the league for 3 years, I think it is, or 4, 3 or 4. Anyway, in that time, I feel like OKC should have necessarily
That's
been
not.
like, huh?
It's in his third year, bro.
One B, yeah. I feel like OKC had 3 years to look at Wemby and know he's going to be a problem. We have to find a solution for him. Look at the second overall pick that you guys drafted, who's like what 7-1, 7-2,
Hmm.
um, who got ended up getting a max, and be like, you have time. You need to develop to be able to go against this.
Or even develop the skill set that he has. Okay. Like develop into that, you know?
Yeah,
And I don't know what it is about because Chet definitely has the upside, of course, right? But it's just not there every night for some reason. Like I don't know what would bring that out of him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I think Chet could average 20 a game. Does he do it every single night? No. And that's the
there
problem.
there's nights where he gets outplayed by Hartenstein. I think a lot of times he gets outplayed by
That
Hartenstein. Where
cannot
okay,
happen.
OKC kind of has to rely on Hartenstein. Um, I think game two was when they focused on Hartenstein on Wemby, and they ended up winning. So it seems like have to rely more on him compared to Chet, who's supposed to be like your star of the future, your young star. It's
Yeah,
one.
that cannot happen. I mean, and these are the games, right, where you're needed the most, right? And that's gonna kind of expose you a little bit too, because J Dub's not playing. Like last game, game four, like AJ Mitchell didn't play. Jalen Williams didn't play. Who's kind of who's the first person you go to that's next in line after Shea? You go to Chet Holmgren, right? Like you're supposed to be next up. Like these are games where you're supposed to have like 30 and 10. Like you know what I mean? Like you have the talent for sure, but it's just not there every night, you know. And it's it sucks for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, coaches definitely got to get on him for sure. But I don't know how you motivate somebody to guard somebody that can go off for 40 and 15 or 40 and 20 on any given night. Like I don't know how you motivate somebody to do that, especially how Chet's been playing these 4 games over these 4 games. Like it's gonna be tough, but it's gotta be somebody in that room has to be able to motivate him because he's definitely the key. And maybe Shay, maybe Shay, maybe the press conference is like a reverse psychology thing, and maybe Shay not saying anything like, oh wow, Shay don't want to say nothing about me. Okay, I'll show him. Like, I mean, I doubt that'll happen, but I mean, it's just hope at this point. Like, I mean, that's like the only thing I think that can motivate him because I don't know. Because I mean, clearly he hasn't really been like it hasn't happened yet, so something's off for sure. I just don't know what. Like, I mean, like these games. I mean, like last game 10 points. Like game before 14 points. I mean, 13 points the game before that. Like, in the game we lost 2 for 7, 8 points. And J Dub is not playing in any of these games. So like this is your chance. You have a chance to kind of just go off. Like, you know what I mean? Just take that lead. But
And I think even if he doesn't go off necessarily, at least you would want him
impact.
to be there on the defensive end for that impact against Wemby. I think
Yes.
that's not there either.
Yeah. So we're not getting the offense, and then Wemby's still dropping 33 in the game four.
Yeah.
What are we getting? So, but yeah, hopefully, tonight, hopefully, game five, we'll see a different chat. We'll see, but
What do
no,
you,
he
what do
definitely
you feel? What do you feel OKC has to do to beat the Spurs? Besides, obviously, stopping one base is gonna be like a crazy thing. Do you think you guys focus necessarily on stopping Wemby, or do you do the complete opposite and try to stop everybody else? Because you can probably stop everybody else, but you can't stop the 7'5" alien on the floor.
and I haven't watched enough Wemby to kind of see because I would love to see his. I mean, this may be a sidebar to your answer, but because I would love to see the games that he has bad offensive nights, and would love to see like if his impact on defense changes in terms of like his willingness to kind of be that anchor. Because that would kind of depend on my answer to your question. Because I'm trying to remember of games where he's had bad shooting nights, but I don't know. I think maybe his defensive impact was still there, but I would say, yeah, I got to see because I mean, I'd say stop Wemby just because I mean, like, yes, he's tough to deal with offensively, but there are ways, and I think Mardano it's kind of there are some ways, like Hartenstein, they're getting into the center of that paint and hitting those floaters, so they are figuring out ways to infiltrate the paint. So I think stopping Wemby would be a good I prefer that method over stopping the other players just because like he's like when he's on offensively, I don't know, it just seems like that just makes him that much better defensively. Like it just amps up his defensive activity even more, if that makes sense. Like I don't know, like it just gives him more motivation on that side. So I think if you cut off the, I mean, and you're not going to cut him off offensively, but if you just kind of agitate him just a little bit to just have a little slightly off game, just 20 points, like 17 to 20 points, I think is a good night. Like if you're OKC's defense, like you know what I mean? Like if he's dropping 30 or 40, like it's gonna be a long night because I mean that's just only gonna make him a better defensive player as well. Just because he's just that type of competitor. Like, and it's tough because you want to see that from Chet as well, right? Especially, and the media doesn't help. Keep bringing up that MVP trophy from Team USA, and then you see Wemby over there just staring at him, like what I mean, like how did he get MVP? And then and they keep bringing that up, and I'm sure Wemby sees it, so it's like that doesn't make it easier at all either. So yeah, I think to answer your question, yeah, you just gotta stop Wemby. I mean, yeah, because he's just that important, that important to that team.
I like it. Let's see. Let's see if
We shall see.
it's 2-2 right now. So let's see what team makes the adjustment to
Yeah,
the 104.
yeah. So next episode will probably be Thursday. So yeah, I think that would have been yeah.
Maybe
So we
Thursday. Eh,
oh well, actually it'll probably be Friday. We'll probably post it Friday. So yeah, maybe Friday. So then that would have been probably games. So that would have been game five, maybe six. I don't know. We got to see. But
we'll
yeah,
see. We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. But
That's not
yeah, we'll
even.
definitely have game five by then. So we'll see. If both our takes are able to come to fruition and see who's the winner.
Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Just drop your thoughts on the NBA playoffs, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next video. Yep.